Bill Walsh joins us right now. Bill's the global business strategist, the CEO and founder of Power Team International. Welcome, Bill. So, like I said, the Treasury Secretary, I'm good, seemed to be driving all of this since he took the lead on trade. We have his deputy coming up from the White House later this hour. What do you make of the strategy here to pause for 90 days with China?
Well, I think it's smart. Obviously, I think Trump played his card and said, there's no more freebies here. We want to be able to trade in both directions. And if you're not going to make that work, then we're going to stop buying a bunch of your stuff. So I really do hope that within the next 30 to 45 days, they bring out some solid agreements that are long-term, that are good for both parties. Right now, it's only good for one side. It's really great for China, not so good for the U.S.
So this wasn't like giving in to China or anything like that? I saw a few articles. People say, oh, Trump's given in to China today. You don't read it that way. Doesn't sound like it.
I don't read it that way at all. But I think so often people say that because it makes news for them.
Right.
All they like to do is, if there's a way to put Trump down, they're going to find a way to do it. If he made it zero tariffs on both sides, they still would give him no credit.
Now, you're probably right about that. I thought what was interesting, and the reason I mentioned Besson takes the lead, is that somebody used the term reset earlier in our coverage. I did feel like it was something of a reset just in the way they're talking about it. Because originally it was, we're going to go after China and other countries, by the way. We're going to bring manufacturing jobs back to the U.S. I'm not saying that's not the strategy anymore, but it seemed to me the emphasis was on something different today, is that we're still going to do business with China, just on better terms.
Well, I think the market's also telling you, right? The market's always going to tell you the answer. We talked last time, I said, buy the rumor, sell the fact, right? And the fact is that trade is good for both parties, but it's got to be set up good for both parties. And the problem is that we had such a weak administration in the past that they just let this stuff get rolled over on. And, you know, it's not like we're $2 trillion in debt, we're $36 trillion in debt. And so we've got to come up with some solutions that make sense for everyone involved. And they've got to stop these wraparounds. These wraparounds where they buy the materials here, make it over there, ship it to another country, then ship it to the U.S. for free. That's got to end. Right. It's such an expense to the U.S. economy and our taxpayers.
Yeah, I guess that was the one thing we kind of laughed a little bit at Trump when he came out in the Rose Garden with those numbers he showed, but also when he was, you know, remember when he was putting the tariffs on the on the penguins or whatever it was. But the point was, the point was to try to say, all right, China, you can't be going through other countries, whether they were doing it there or not. But that, to your point, they try to work through other countries to avoid it sometimes. And I guess that's the point he was getting at. So now what? Now what's the next move here from both sides? We got to see something out of China, right?
I think when it comes out of the reset, now it's their turn to volley over. And I think what you're going to see is you're going to see China step up at the table. But it's not going to just be China. I think it's China, India. I really do think that a number of these countries are going to come at the same time with a deal that's good for everyone. And I think they have to realize that, you know, Trump is not going to bend because he doesn't have like another term to go after this, right? It's win now or never. And so I think he wants to make something that's fair for everybody. I don't think that Trump is all one-sided. I think Trump's been doing business for a long time. And I think for a long time after this administration, he'll still be doing business in a lot of these countries. So I think it's a win-win-win all the way around to cut some really good deals that are fair for everybody. And at the same token, help small business America. Because right now, a lot of these small businesses are getting hit pretty hard because you don't hear about them in the news.
You know, by the way, not only small businesses, I brought this up earlier, I put it back up from the tablet. What about consumers? The fact that they didn't get rid of the goods, this de minimis, the goods under $800, that wasn't part of this, I guess, today. So I don't know if that's something that hurts American consumers in the next few months while they try to work something out. Any thoughts?
I think it does. I think it does hurt the consumer. I think, once again, the entry-level consumer is not, they can't afford this stuff. Right. So I think they'll take a cut into that, too. I do believe it's going to be a good, and a reset's a good term, but it's not so much a reset now. I think it's a follow through.
And final thing, for people like you and others that are kind of, the big thing we kept hearing, oh, I can't plan. I don't know what the future holds. You know, do you think people in the business community kind of writ large now have more of an ability to plan, or the uncertainty remains because this is only 90 days and we don't know what happens after?
I really do believe that they're going to get to some final numbers within 30 to 45 days. It's not going to go the full 90 days, and that's just my belief system. But I think they want deals cut across the board. It's like they're working deal fronts on so many levels in so many different areas, not just business. But, I mean, look at today. Hamas let out the final American that was alive, right? And it's not just what they're doing on business tariffs. They're across the board. They know, I think, after his first term, he knows now, get this stuff done. He's got the right people at the helm to make it happen.
All right.
And I'm excited as a business owner. I speak to business owners every week in cities. I'm in Dubai today, right? But I speak to business owners all over the world, and they would prefer that there was whatever the structure is, set it and let's run with it.
And how do they feel? What do you hear in Dubai, real quick, over there? What do people think of what's going on in the U.S.? Like people running, big time people. They're confident. They're nervous. What's the mood?
Listen, they're confident. They love Trump. I'll tell you right now. I talk to business owners all the time, and I was with some folks once again, South Africa business owners, and I was just in Cape Town not even a month ago, and people said, "Oh, all this bad news." I'm telling you, across the board, people love the U.S. and want to do business there, and of course, I think having this where it's settled will make it good for everybody.
All right, Bill. Thank you. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.